Welcome back, everyone. Dan Hodges back with us today. Naturalist at Johnny Appleseed Metro Park District. He brought all of his bird and animal friends with us today. This is the time of year to be thinking about feeding our furry and feathered friends,
absolutely.
right?
So, you know, in the wintertime, a lot of birds fly south. And most of those birds are gone already. So the birds that, you know, are sticking around, they're here for the winter. For the most part, the birds that you got in your yard right now you're going to have
sticking around
all winter long. Yeah. We feed birds for a couple of reasons. And honestly, the major reason that we feed birds is for us.
That's true.
Because we like to watch birds. A lot of these birds will, you know, we have less natural area now than we did before. You know, we don't have the spaces for a lot of these birds to survive. But for the most part, these birds are going out somewhere else.
Okay.
And they'll be able to find food on their own. So if you can't feed birds, don't feel like you're doing some terrible disservice. You're not, oh, I'm harming the bird community. Yeah. But really, what a great educational tool! What a great, you know, observational. Like just enjoying, sit there watching birds. It does wonders for us. It also supplements some of their diet too.
Okay.
So it is. I mean, we are feeding them. So we're giving them, especially on some of those cold and really bitter days. Those birds are able to, you know, get kind of a handout. So I got a smattering of birds here. I don't know. You know me. I like to bring in lots of stuff.
Right.
But these birds all eat something a little bit different.
Okay.
So the woodpecker on the end is going to eat suet out of a cage like this. Suet's a great thing to feed. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
You know, the goldfinch over here is going to eat these tiny little thistle seeds. By the way, they're not actually thistle. This is it's Niger seed from a flower. It's not going to grow thistle in your yard. You're not going to get anything growing. It's also heat treated, so you're not going to get.
Can I ask a question about the goldfinch? Now, I never knew that they stuck around in the winter, but I probably didn't because they're a lot paler and they're not as bright, right?
Yeah. So a lot of these birds change clothes.
Okay.
And they're not trying to attract a mate anymore, right? In the springtime, they were out there singing and, you know, flashy, and so, you know, this male bright yellow goldfinch here is going to be real drab and muted in the winter. He's gonna look a lot different. Okay. But you know, he's eating little stuff. The big blue jays, you know, they're eating peanuts especially. But honestly, the best food, if you're going to feed, certainly if you're going to feed one food, the best food to feed is sunflower seed.
To get a variety of birds.
Well, yeah, and everything eats some. There's only like a couple of birds that don't eat sunflower seed. Almost everything eats sunflower seeds, and so this is the catch-all. Also, it doesn't have a lot of junk and filler in it. A lot of times you get bird seed from the store and it says, you know, premium, you know, wild bird, and then you look at it and a lot of milo, a lot of barley, you know, a lot of filler in there that the birds are going to kick out anyway.
It's funny you say that because I've seen birds eating, and if you put the junk out, they do. They spit it out. They get rid of it. They don't want to
kick it out on the ground.
Right.
And so, you know, it's a cheaper bag, but you're getting less bang for your buck. So all these different birds eating, you know, can eat something different, but sunflower seeds is going to be the major one. Of course, if you're going to be serious about birding and you want, I mean, outside your window, you're going to be able to see them pretty close. But a good pair of binoculars, you can't go wrong with a good pair of binoculars.
I keep them right by the window.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, you know, the $40 pair of binoculars, if you're $100, you're going to be great. $400 is too much. Just get a $100 pair, you're going to be okay. A bird field guide, if you're looking, by the way, if you're looking at Google for your identification, is going to be a little bit rough. You know, one more thing I wanted to talk about was a program. This is run through the Cornell Lab of Ornithology called Project Feeder Watch.
Okay.
Now, this is a nationwide thing. Thousands of people participate in this every year. Basically, you just go and look at your birds. You got bird feeders? Right? Okay. Yeah, you put your bird feeders out, but then you just monitor them and you see what kind of birds are showing up. This helps you identify them. This does a good job. You know, it gives you a purpose to go sit down and watch the birds for an hour. But really, what this is doing is it's, especially with so many participants, it gets a snapshot of the populations of these feeder birds. And all of this goes into real-time data and science that's happening right now.
Start online with that to figure out how to do all that?
Yeah, you know, if you want more information, we got a program on Saturday. Hopefully you can come out and learn about bird feeding in general, but also that Project Feeder Watch program. We need volunteers for that too. So come out and see me on Saturday. Look at jampd.com. Register, and I hope to see you.
That'll be awesome. Okay, thank you, Dan. Appreciate it as always. Good seeing you. We'll be back right after this.